Mm-hmm. Hey everyone, welcome to The Way We See It 2012. We've downgraded a bit because my camera's out of memory, my laptop's out of memory. But we're back. Here's Jennifer, Jeanette, and today I wanted to discuss, since we're all a year older, right? Mm-hmm. Unless we found the fountain of youth. And we all are still under 20, so we're not even that old. And I want to discuss about how does it feel like she's in her late 20s. I just entered my late 20s. And she's about to enter her...
Or should we talk about alcoholic problems?
Did you notice that came from his side of the corner right there?
This is just soda with raspberry. I'm cold.
Cough syrup?
This is the closest we get to live TV because we're doing a direct upload. So excuse us if we're a little inappropriate at times. How does it feel, Jen? How does it feel that you're almost in your 30s?
It feels good. I don't think I've ever felt my age. I think age is just a number. I feel younger than I'm gonna be 20. How old am I? I'm 28 this year. I think I'm gonna be 29.
29. So it's basically your last year, right? You're 20. Mm-hmm. How I see it is that I always compare myself to my parents in life. So when I think back, oh, my parents, 30 is old because they had kids this age. You know what I mean? Like my mom had me when she was 20. So I'm 26 now. She had a 6-year-old in the first grade at my age.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Imagine me having a 6-year-old.
But I like you said, I don't feel my age. I feel like somebody asked me this last week. I said, how old are you? Like, I'm 26. How does it feel? Like, it feels like 21. I really feel like I'm still 21.
Except for you have like the freedom, the financial stability to be able to do the things that you wish you could when you're 21.
And like Janet said, like you were saying, you're watching T.I., and when you see him with his kids,
he looks way older.
When you see anybody with kids,
you see him separate, you look like he's just a young, independent rapper, like someone successful and famous. And then you see him with his kids, and he just looks like an old, normal person, like a grown.
And it's
person.
like I know people that never had kids in their 40s. Your friend of yours that I met, and she looks so young. She doesn't look like she's in her 40s.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that the marriage, a bad marriage, or the kids ages you. And I can imagine it's a lot of stress. You know what I mean? Like me and Janet talk about her having kids. You're gonna have to take them to school, have to participate in school, make sure they're doing it right in school. You have your work to do. Manuel has his work to do. You have a household to obtain. You have a marriage to work on, because marriage, it's not easy on its own. Then you have kids come into the picture. Different parenting skills, different. Mm-hmm. Like I just feel it's too much stress.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think too that when I was growing up, there was probably, once I turned 20, my parents got married when they were 20 and 21, and I don't think there's any way that I would feel ready to be married and have children, let alone at 20 or 21. So I think times have changed for individuals.
But people are still doing it. It's not a chance to change because people still do it. I think it's just us. Like, we're reluctant to give that up because we don't, I don't know, maybe I don't know how to say it. Like for my parents, like I asked my parents, why was my dad so insistent getting married with my mom when she was 16, 17?
Yeah. Well, all my grandparents and my grandparents' age and even my parents' age, they're a little more traditional, getting married early and then starting their families. And nowadays, people start families without getting married. Yeah. It's kind of changed a little bit. People are having children later in life, not so early now.
And I've noticed that people that are professionals or go to college, they do have it towards their late 30s, their kids. Mm-hmm. Even Janet was saying, like, 2 days ago, oh, maybe I can wait till I'm 30 to have kids. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so...
But it's funny because, like, how you said about getting married and stuff, I was 22 when I got married. I was, like, June, July, August, September. I was, like, 2 months away from being 23. But when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I was kind of young, you know what I mean? And then now I hear like people that are like in their 20s, 19s wanting to get married. And in my head, I'm like, you're too young. Why do you want to rush into that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, people could have said the same thing about me. Like, what's the rush? But I just feel like,
yeah, well, you see your videos before and I asked you, what was the rush? Like, you didn't have to get married. Mm-hmm. And so...
But like, to me, it's like, like I was telling Manuel, yesterday on the day before, because how we're planning the trip and stuff like that, I was like, wait a minute, we haven't even told my parents, like, we're like planning and I don't even think about like running it by my parents, I'm going to tell them, we're going on a cruise or whatever, but if I were still living with them, I feel like I would have to first run it by them, hey, can I go on this vacation, hey, can I do this, whatever, because that's the difference of living on your own and living with your parents. And whether you're 30 years old, if you live under your parents' roof, You know what I mean? Like, those are things that you still have to run by, you know? And they're still going to feel like, Dad, he's still going to feel with, if we are 30 and we're living with him, he's still going to feel the need to be like, oh, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, and it kind of buddy into our lives more, you know what I mean? And I feel like you're married, you have the independence, and, it's like, imagine if me and my dad weren't married. How often would I see him now?
But you guys were living, this is the thing, you're confusing because you guys were living together before you got married. You didn't have to have his permission anyways. You know what I mean? You were your own person.
No,
you made your own money. Like, you didn't rely, I feel when you need to rely on somebody else, it's because you're relying on their money. You need your permission because you're under his roof. You know, it's out of respect for a parent. But you were paying for your own roof, your own car, everything. It was you. So you were doing it out of consideration for a parent, out of respect, you know? But you weren't, at that point, you're not asking for permission. You're letting him know, oh, I'm going to go on vacation. But it's like, hey, Dad, can I get permission? Like, it doesn't even make sense to ask for permission. But we were raised so strictly that I get what you mean. I remember when we went to Vegas, I was kind of, like, afraid to tell him, like, hey, we're going to Vegas. You know? I was like, where are you kidding? I'm like,
even to go out to the store, remember? Because he would always have a comment to say, like, at this hour, especially with me, like,
yeah, even if we visit now,
out at this time, you know what I mean?
But anyways, back to the topic about feeling old. Like, I was looking at myself right now, like, a few minutes ago in the mirror, and I saw my wrinkles right here. Like,
I have a sunspot. I'm not even in the
sun. Gray hair.
I know. One gray hair.
And I think it's interesting because after we're aging, and we still haven't gotten into Botox. You girls have gotten into hair dyes, but I feel like we're at different stage. At what age would you guys start? Like, I've considered Botox to preserve what you look like now. And the only thing that stops me is that they hear that it leaks into your brain.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, but I don't know what the side effects of that are. But,
anything leaking into your brain doesn't sound like good stuff.
But like I said, besides my joints or my knees, like, I feel like from accidents from early years, I feel it now. You know what I mean? You feel the cold. It's like, oh, this is what they were talking about. And I'm still in my 20s. Like, I thought this might hit me in my 40s, But it only makes me more cautious to take care more into my health. Because I know that my health now is going to matter later on. Because I have these examples to worry about. And like MJ, I don't know if you noticed, he's bald. Not because that's the look he wants to go for. He's bald because he can't grow hair, But that's just a genetic disorder, not because he's old. So like we all.
Defecto de fábrica.
But yeah, it's a pretty cool thing about aging. I think, I found a thing not too long ago, or years ago. Not many are given the blessings to age. People don't get to live that old. You know what I mean? So I take care of you as like, yes, it's nice. And like I said, as long as I don't feel old, I'm good. Maybe Jen and Manuel, I'll go out with them. Or even Jen here, they'll knock out early. I was like, it's barely 10 o'clock. And you're tired, you want to go to bed, let's go out. And you know what I mean? And I feel like I was telling Jan too long ago, like, we never had the spring break experience where you go to Cancun and like, ooh, party like it's on MTV, We were never that type of youth.
Yeah, I was going to say, that wasn't me. Like, that wasn't me. I like just laying on the couch, watching television, relaxing, going out for a movie, going shopping, eating.
And I tell us old people stuff. Like, you want to go out.
But I don't like hanging out with crazy ass people that I don't know that are wasted or drunk or getting naked in front of me or fighting or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my scene.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that too. But me and Jen, we party. Well, Jen, actually, between all three of us, Jen has partied more than all of us. Some experience. But you see, that didn't stop you. Like, age doesn't stop you from going out. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. It's like your personality, basically. Well, what stops you? What you want to do? And like,
that's what they say. Age is what?
Yeah, well, I think, too, your body gets used to it. Once you're in a routine and you're going out every night or you go out on all the weekends, you're used to it. But when it depends, I think, where you live, too. When there's not much to do, you come home, watch TV, pop in a movie. If you go for a walk or exercise, that's what you do. But if you live in a place where there's lots to do, you can just, when you get home from work, walk down the street and there's tons of activities, things to do. So I think your body just gets used to it.
It does. And then I feel like we all work with an older population. I was like, I'm just waiting to get there. I really am. Like, before I know it, I'm going to be one of these people.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then they always give you advice. Enjoy, like, for my part, they always tell me, enjoy your life.
They tell me, don't get old.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Don't get old. As if I had any way of preventing that, I don't get old. But I don't know. I look forward to my 30s because I feel it's going to be a liberation. Like, I'm here. Like, I don't have to worry about it no more. You know what I mean? Once you get to, because right now you
I
do
feel
worry.
like I'm never gonna get there. I feel like my 20s.
But
I'm still barely in my 20s.
Not only that, because a lot of people are furious because they have goals. So, like, I've met my goals in my 20s, really early on.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure, what are going to be my goals in my 30s?
Travel. That's what, like, that's
well, no, for you
now.
and MJ, it's kids. For me, it'd be I don't know, like, I don't want kids, you know what I mean, personally. So, it's like, I think, what's my next step in life? You know?
I would say vacation, because that's how I feel right now. Like, the only thing on my mind, more than kids or whatever, is traveling. Like, I want to travel. Like, thank God we have our house, we have our cars, you know what I mean? Like, our careers are set. So I feel like now is the time to travel. And
what about you, Jen? Because you traveled.
Right.
What are your goals for your 30s? To go back to school? To finally start a family, having kids? Or
Well, I would definitely want to definitely start a family, get married. I think I'll always have that travel bug. I don't think that's something that will be able to go away. I'd love to go to other countries. I'm not actually so much interested in the U.S., but I'm more interested in international countries. So,
well, I mean, you've been to Europe twice already. Where would you like to go?
Well, the thing is, there's so many different places you can go. I would love to go
let's do this.
to Ireland.
Let's do a
Japan.
20s bucket list. You know, people do the bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a bucket list before we leave our 20s. What is one thing in your bucket list?
Ooh.
You're 29?
I'm gonna be 29 this year, so that doesn't leave me much time.
Well, a year is a long time. A year is a long time still.
My bucket list
For your 20s.
Would probably be to get married. That would probably be on my bucket list.
To get married before you turn 30?
Mm-hmm.
You, Janet?
On my bucket list before 30?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I have, 6 years left on there, so there's a lot to do. The only thing I can think is traveling. Hopefully, maybe have kids like around 28, 29. If we're good then.
Have kids before you're 30?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe have kids before I'm 30 or right when I'm 30.
For me,
Depending
before
on the
I'm 30,
situation.
it will be like move back into LA. Like, I want to spend part of my 20s in LA. Because I feel like I live in a rural area where it's like for older people, when couples are married. Like, that's not for the youth that's in me. So I want to leave.
Where he lives is for nobody. Nobody wants to live there.
So I want to celebrate my youth in the city, basically. You know, like, and stay there for a few years in my 20s. That's my bucket list thing. Because traveling, I've done not that much traveling. I haven't been to New York or Europe. But that's not. For me, I feel like it's so small, like in memory, and it's so much money. Like, you know, like for me, it's basic. Like a cruise is good enough. All you can eat and good music, and you know. But it is nice. Like, I do want to go to Italy. I want to spend it, you know, Italy, Spain. But that can be my 30s. I feel I have more money then.
If you don't have a kid, then you don't have to at least worry about that. You know what I mean? You can travel with nothing to tie you down.
All right, you guys. Sorry for the bad lighting, for the bad camera work. Like I said, I'm out of memory, so this is what we can do.
And spend your money on memories, not on cars or houses or anything like that. They're all good goals, but spend your money on memories.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.